Hi, my name is Kevin Fernandez and welcome to my channel, Gamers Genie. Today I'm going to talk to you about my top 10 favorite games that have been published by Ravensburger, or Ravensburger as some people prefer to call it. I don't quite know. These are all games that have been published by this specific company. I do like their games. I enjoy them a lot. It's one of the few companies I've managed to play 10 different games based around this. I'm gonna try to stretch it out a bit. We'll see. We'll see what I do with that. I did a Funko Games one recently, so that's why I thought about doing it. It was pretty popular, so I guess without further ado, let's count down. Okay, so number 10 is Hocus Pocus, the game. This is a game based off of the movie Hocus Pocus. The goal is to, of course, try to take down the witches before time runs out. And you do that by mixing specific potions and stuff like that. You're trying to stall them for daylight to come out. And, you know, now, it's been a while since I played this, so I'm a little foggy on the details. Okay, give me a break. That's also why it's number 10. It's pretty fun. One of the major catches is you cannot communicate with each other, but there's ways around it, like binks and stuff like that, in order to, like, try to beat the game. It is a cooperative game, but you can't communicate with each other in any way. And I know a lot of people have an issue with that. Like, okay, it's a cooperative game. I should be able to talk to my, partners. But it's like Winifred casts a spell on you that prevents you from talking to everybody. So it's thematically accurate. So thematically it works. Yeah, but number 10, Hocus Pocus, the game. Okay, so number 9, I'm going to admit, this is why it's number 9. I haven't really played it that much. Castles of Burgundy. This game, I've heard so much about it. So much about it from so many people, and they hype it up so much. And obviously this is my top 10 favorite. I do like it, but I don't ever see me getting it. I probably will keep it as a digital only. I'll probably do it as a digital only game because, I just think Castles of Burgundy is one of those games that is now officially on the overhype train. Just like with Ticket to Ride. Ticket to Ride has now made it to the overhype train because it's like so many people talk very highly about these games, and then you start to play them, and you're like, it's not that great. It's not terrible, but you have all this build-up, and then you start playing it, and you're like, huh, that's it. I believe Castles of Burgundy, I don't think it's I'm trying to remember, but I believe you get like resources and stuff like that. I'm gonna try it again. I will. But yeah, number 9 is Castles of Burgundy. Number 8 is Labyrinth. By the way, it's kind of weird. Here's something. Okay, Ravensburger. Okay, if you want me to start pronouncing your company's name as Ravensburger, okay, how come you haven't made a Labyrinth edition Labyrinth? Okay, seriously, let's get on this. Okay, Jim Henson, let's do this. Get the Henson Company, get Disney, whoever you need to get on the line that has the rights to Labyrinth, and get that IP on there. Okay, it's like perfect. Okay, how come we don't have a Labyrinth edition Labyrinth? I mean, come on. you can see like hoggle on your board. That's cool. But anyways, Labyrinth is a game where you like push tiles out of the way to try to earn these push tiles, so that way you can try to maneuver through this labyrinth, where you can collect certain items, and the person who collects, like, you have like secret cards. The person who collects all the items on their cards obviously wins the game. But yeah, seriously, let's get on that labyrinth thing, okay? Like I want to see David Bowie's face on that box. I'm gonna keep making a big deal out of this. We got Harry Potter labyrinth, Pokemon labyrinth, 2 Disney labyrinths, and we don't have a labyrinth. But anyways, this is Jordan and I tried this game at Gen Con a couple years back. So for those of you who played this game like years ago, this is an old game that kind of got like a new coat of paint a couple times. You know, so it's not a new game, but I never said all the games on my list are new. So, but I do think it's a pretty fun family game to play. So number 8 is Labyrinth. Seriously, get on it. Okay, so number 7 is Gargoyles Awakening. Now, Awakening is the name of the first episode of Gargoyles from the TV series that most people from the 90s grew up with. We all know, you know who you are. But this is pretty cool. It follows the story of Gargoyles for like different episodes pretty closely and everything like that. You get to play as like Goliath, Lexington, Broadway, Hudson, or Brooklyn. I don't think you get to play as Bronx. I can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember if you can play as Bronx, but I don't think you can play as Bronx. I think you can have Bronx in your deck, but you can't play as Bronx. But anyways, you know, you work together through these different stories, and I think some players can actually be bad guys at some point. I can't remember. So I haven't played the entirety of the game. I played a couple stories here and there. I haven't really gotten through all the scenarios. So it's a little bit of guesswork. But it's a really fun game. If you like Gargoyles, you definitely would like this game. The figurines are really nicely 3D printed. You know, they have like standees and stuff for other characters, but whatever. Yeah, one of the reasons why it's not higher on this list is because I remember, this is a personal thing. I'm pretty sure I'll get over this and it'll probably move higher up on lists like this. But when I first played it, it was kind of hard to figure out what you could do, what you couldn't do. So I think I just need to play it a couple times because I've only played it like once or twice. And that's not enough to say that it's like a terrible thing or a good thing or a great thing or whatever. But again, thematically, it follows the show very well, the source material very well. Doesn't try to be its own thing. You know, it's not just a game with the gargoyles thrown in. Like I said, if you like the show, you'll like this game. Number 7, Gargoyles Awakening. Okay, so number 6 is Jungle Cruise, Disney's Jungle Cruise. I like this game. I'm a little sad that unfortunately the game has kind of fallen to the wayside a bit. You know, it's not as like highly talked about as like it used to be. There it is. It's not highly talked about as it used to be. I remember when it first came out, there were so many people who wanted to play this game. But at the time, when this first came out, it was the only board game that was based off of a Disney attraction. And it like, you know, followed the map of the Jungle Cruise like precisely. But, you know, then we started having like Big Thunder Mountain, we started having Haunted Mansion, we started having, you know, Happiest Day, There was like other Disney related, especially Disney theme park related games. There's Space Mountain. That one fell to the wayside a lot faster than anything else. And I think that one came out around the same, I think that was this by the same company. I don't know what happened with Space Mountain. I have not tried Space Mountain, but I should try it so I can give it a fair shot. But I don't know what happened there. Unfortunately, sadly, Jungle Cruise, the board game is, it's not getting as much love as I think it should. Especially, I feel like this is such a great game for like people who aren't big gamers, and are not looking for an entire campaign in order to enjoy playing a game. I feel like if you're looking for a fun game to play with your kids, I feel like this is such a great game for that. And unfortunately, not many people. I even went to Disney World and Disneyland, and I went to the gift shop for the Jungle Cruise in Adventureland, and it's like not many people were buying it. It really needs to get that love. Thankfully, your favorite board game teacher, Gamer's Genie, has a how to play video, so you can click the link above my head and check it out and see why number 6 is the Jungle Cruise. Okay, so number 5 is the Princess Bride adventure book game. I really do like the adventure book game series, minus one game, because I really don't like the IP that it is based off of. I'm going to have you guess which one. But the reason why I picked this one is because this is the only adventure book game I have played all the way through. I played, I think, for my dad's birthday, my brother Kyle's birthday. We played the Lord of the Rings one, but we only made it as far as the Council of Elrond, so we didn't finish the book. We only made it to a certain point. Very well made. By the way, I want to give a shout out to Mick and Starla from Our Family Plays Games. I know you guys have a friend who helped design this game. Great job. He did a great job. So if you guys see this video, please let your friend know that he did a great job, and that he needs to let me know like what other games he's designed, because I want to try out more stuff he's worked on. So definitely great job with the design team and everything. It captures the spirit of the Lord of the Rings very well. Actually, I feel like all the adventure book games, including the Princess Bride, capture the spirit of the original source material very well, and it almost feels like you're going through the movie itself. So good. If you're a fan of like the Princess Bride, Wizard of Oz, or the Lord of the Rings, feel free to check them out. I have a how to play video on the Princess Bride adventure book game. However, in order for me to do a how to play video on the other two, those are requests only. I will not be doing a series on those. It is request only. So if you want to see more, put it down in the comments below. Jordan will be teaching The Wizard of Oz. I will be teaching The Lord of the Rings. So that's how that's going to work. Yeah, but I like you do the chores. You do go through the fire swamp. You have to get the the brute squad and all that stuff. And you got like all these different items and all sorts of cool things. Man, this stuff follows the source material so well. It is so good. It's so fun. I heard a lot of people go, well, you're just going through the movie. But that's the point of these games. It's like there's no replayability. Yeah. Well, how many times do you rewatch The Princess Bride? I think I'm on at least 1,000 times I've watched The Princess Bride, because, man, boom, 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 boom. I love that movie so much. It's so funny. It's so great. This captures the humor, the spirit, everything about The Princess Bride. So number 5, Princess Bride adventure book game. Okay, so number 4 is Horrified World of Monsters. Now, I know a lot of people like the Universal Monsters, and I do too. But I featured the Universal Monsters on several other top 10s lists, and they're always like around the same spot. So yeah, you know, I love the Universal Monster one, but I feel like I needed to give them a rest and talk about a different Horrified. However, the only other Horrified that I've played with all the monsters is World of Monsters. I haven't played against all the monsters in American Monsters. I haven't played against all the monsters in Greek Monsters. I have played against all the monsters in World of Monsters because there's only 4 and it's super simple to do it. But in World of Monsters, you got like 4 different monsters you can choose from. You got 4 different monsters you can choose. Looks like Cthulhu, the Sphinx, Jai-Chi, I think is the name of one, and the Yeti. Now, of course you have to beat them by completing their goals and everything. Cthulhu has the most goals, by the way. So if you want to play a pretty difficult game, Cthulhu, toss Cthulhu in there. Now, the one reason why I picked this one over like American Monsters is of course number one. The American Monsters. I haven't played all the monsters, and neither have I done with Greek. It's only World and the original. But one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about this is because one of the cool things is they did something with this that I kind of wished they did with at least American Monsters. Okay, Universal Monsters is. So I'll explain why. So in World of Monsters, you can actually combine this game with the Greek monsters. So you could have like the Minotaur and Cthulhu, or you can combine and play like different ways. American Monsters really should have done something like this, where you could, attach it to other future expansions. It would have worked with that. I think it would have worked with that. However, I do think Universal Monsters should stay in its own little bubble, because us Universal Monster movie fans, we need to make sure we keep that nice and sacred and everything. That's a sacred thing. Don't touch that. But yeah, definitely they should have had American Monsters have that ability to be played with World of Monsters. Hopefully they'll have like some layover or something where you can do that. So yeah, because what that makes that cool, because then instead of just playing this one game of Horrified, and you can only play with these monsters, but now you can add variety. So you can do like, the Minotaur with Cthulhu, or you can do like Cerberus with the Sphinx. That'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty fun. I would enjoy that. I mean, I haven't tried that yet, and I definitely am gonna try it. But yeah, I like the fact that they're now allowing their games to mix and match. I know they have Dungeons and Dragons monsters coming out soon. I'm going to be honest, I'm usually a big Horrified fan. I'm one of the big defenders of Horrified. I am one of the big defenders of Horrified, but unfortunately I feel like Dungeons and Dragons monsters. I love Dungeons and Dragons. I love Horrified. I think I'm going to sit out on this one. If you guys like that, more power to you. Check them out. Check it out when it comes out. Let me know how it is in the comments. Or, obviously you can message me on all my social media stuff, which I leave down in the description below. Let me know your opinion about it. I might try it. I won't be going to Gen Con this year. So I won't be able to try it at Gen Con. But the only reason why I don't want to try it is because I played a game back in my childhood called HeroScape, and thankfully Renegade Games brought it back. But when the game started to die was when they really started to push Dungeons and Dragons HeroScape. And it was... it took over. Dungeons and Dragons took over, and I just don't want to see that with Horrified. Since each game is kind of a standalone game, since each Horrified is kind of a standalone game, I'm not that worried about it. but I am a little worried, like this much. However, if it is compatible with World of Monsters and Greek monsters, and you can mix and match some more, I am all for that. I would love to see the Beholder go up against Cthulhu. Go up with Cthulhu. Team up with Cthulhu. That would be so cool. Because there is a Beholder in it. I saw the box. But yeah, number 4 is Horrified World of Monsters. Okay, so number 3, I had a time to try to pick a game. Which one of these do I want to put on here? But I finally decided to go with the OG Disney Villainous. Star Wars Villainous really came close to coming on here because I really do like Star Wars Villainous. Oh my gosh, that's such a good game. Michael, you did a great job designing these, designing those characters. Gosh, man, you know, Star Wars Villainous, so good, so good. I love it so much. Marvel Villainous, I can't believe I'm saying I love Marvel, but I don't really like Marvel Villainous that much. I think there's too... I can't believe I'm saying that. I love games that have a lot going on, but I think Marvel Villainous has too much going on, especially because you need to try to time drawing the cards right. And if you draw a hero that does well against your villain, you draw heroes and stuff that go well against your villain, well, how are you going to sabotage your opponent? I don't know. But Disney Villainous, I feel like this one is a great game. You can play as so many different Disney villains now. From Maleficent all the way to King Candy. So cool. I love how inventive it is. Now, one request. Guys, please, Big Bad Wolf. Let's get him going. We got Pete. You guys have clearly stated that you're okay putting in villains from shorts. Let's put Big Bad in there. Big Bad Wolf is was such a great villain from the shorts. He's one of the few villains in the short. He's actually the only short villain that actually had a meet and greet in the parks in his heyday. And they do bring him back every now and then. Like, here's how popular Big Bad is. Big Bad, when the Three Little Pigs left Disney World and Disneyland, he still was there. People love Big Bad. So, yeah, Big Bad Wolf. We need to get that in there. Come on, let's go. I can't wait to... So, I did get the Sugar and Spite set, which I don't know where I put it, but I do have it somewhere. Oh, yeah, it's all the way down to the bottom. I did get the Sugar and Spite set. That set is pretty fun. I like playing as King Candy. I like the new mechanics that they put in with Shere Khan and King Candy. Very fun, very great. And that's what I love about this game is that, you know, the villains all play very differently. There are some villains that have, like, similar, like, strategies. So, like, okay, Jafar and Ursula. Start the game with the trident and the crown, Genie on your side, and the lamp. At the palace, you know, you gotta have items very similar. You know, obviously, but similarity, that does not bother me. That does not bother me at all. But, yeah, so, so I would love to see, I love this game. I love the villains that are coming out. Now, I would like to see, so there's 3 villains, so I know they do sets of 3, and I actually thought of 3 villains I'd like to see. So, one is, of course, Big Bad Wolf. I would love to see the Big Bad Wolf. Number 2, I haven't really thought of that many Pixar villains I want to see, by the way, because they already got Syndrome in there, so I don't really care. I mean, what are they going to do? Stinky Pete? I guess Hopper. But number 2, I would like to see them do the Amish from The Fox and the Hound. I kind of would like to see how that... Because it would mostly be just you trying to kill Todd. That would be your goal. Kill Todd. Oh, yeah, they call it defeat. But, I mean, that was his goal throughout the whole movie, was kill Todd. and then and then of course he got Copper to go with it because of what happened to Chief, which, by the way, Disney, you are willing to kill Bambi's mom, but you give Chief a broken leg after falling off a bridge? No. If you wanted to justify why those two were going after that box, you needed to unalive him, okay? This is a family show, so I can't exactly say the K word, but you needed to unalive him. Okay? And then, of course, Big Bad. And then, and so, Amish. And then, of course, the number 3, and the only reason why he's number 3 is because I do not think they're going to do this at all, is the villain from Rescuers Down Under, McLeet. I don't think they're going to do McLeet. Now, the reason why I don't think they're going to do McLeet is because McLeet, he kidnapped, he has attempted murder several times, and even the ending, he was going to actually kill Cody by feeding him to the crocodiles. So, so that way the Rangers, the Australian Rangers would get off his tail. I don't know if they're going to do this, but it is villainous, and, they did do some villains that, like, if they're willing to do Cruella, I don't know why they wouldn't be willing to do McLeet. So I'd like to see that character be in Disney villainous. All right, if you guys want me to, you talk me into it. Okay, so there's a couple Pixar villains I'm okay with seeing. So, of course, I'm okay with seeing, obviously I am okay with seeing Hopper. Hopper was a great villain from A Bug's Life. I like that character. But the reason why I don't want to name that many villains, I guess Randall would be number 2. Randall Boggs, I guess that would be number 2. Pixar didn't really do that many. They didn't really stick the road with the villains that much. So Lotso was like one of the few Pixar villains. So they're really almost done with villains as far as that goes. I guess the other one they could do is Stinky Pete. I don't know. I remember a lot of people do roll their eyes whenever they're like, oh yeah, that's right, surprise villain. But I do feel like partially the reason why people roll their eyes now whenever we see a surprise villain is because we all remember, if whether you guys like Frozen or not, I'm not really that big of a fan of Frozen. I will watch it every now and then, though. I'm not that heartless towards it. But, man, oh man, when I watched that movie, I called it for the first 5 seconds that character was on there. I'm like, he's the villain, isn't he? And it's like, and then they even had that Duke of Wesselton, like, acting like he's the villain. I'm like, no, Pretty Boy's the villain. I don't know why they couldn't just Gaston this guy. So you're going to make this character like Gaston 2.0 or Diet Gaston. Who cares? At least it would have been enjoyable, but it was so boring. And then when they got to the part where he's like, if there was only somebody who loved you, I was just like, called it. So, whatever. I'm not looking forward to any of those villains showing up. Mayor Bellwether. The only surprise villain that I will at least give some acknowledgement to one I want to see is, of course, Rourke from Atlantis: The Lost Empire. Because I at least enjoyed the movie. Even though he was a surprise villain, we didn't get to see him be a villain that long. It still was an enjoyable movie. It had a pretty good I thought it had a pretty good climax and everything. I thought it was all around an enjoyable film. It's one of my favorite Disney films. So yeah, definitely number 3, Disney villainous. Okay, so number 2 is Alien: Fate of the Nostromo. Now, this game's played like pretty much like Horrified. So if you do like the Horrified game mechanics, this is right up your alley. But what I love about this game, so I've been talking so much about how like a lot of these games that Ravensburger did is they followed the source material very, very well. This game I swear, when I play it, like my anxiety shoots up to like the max. I'm like so nervous about what's gonna happen in the game because, oh my gosh. So you remember, like, I think you guys remember this. I can't remember if this is from Aliens or Alien. I'm pretty sure it's from Alien. When they're up in the vent and they're tracking the alien, making sure that it's not with them, and then it's like, oh, it's on your tail. It's on your tail. It's like right behind. And then like you know, you're like, do-do-do-do-do-do-do. And you're like, oh my gosh. That is what you feel like every time. That's what I feel like every time I play this game because, oh my gosh, the anxiety that this game can give you because it's so much like the movie. Now, I've never played it with the harder version where you put Ian Holmes' character in there. I'm calling him Ian Holmes' character because I cannot remember the name of the character. I do apologize. I've seen Alien like several times, but for some reason I can never remember that character's name. But let's face it, we all remember Ripley. That's the main character we remember. We don't remember that many of the other characters' names, okay? Yeah, don't lie to yourself. You know it's Ripley that you remember, okay? Let's not lie. We remember Sigourney Weaver. We remember Ripley, okay? If I asked you to name even all the characters in Aliens, I don't think you'd be able to do it without looking it up. Yeah, it's Ripley. We all remember Ripley. There's a reason why they keep trying to revive Ripley, is because Ripley is the character that we like the most. Plain and simple. She does have a good ability. Yeah, each character has different abilities to help you like maneuver around. Nobody like, at least when I play it, not many people have died. That's the major difference. Is like you can actually have the whole crew survive. Another part that kind of, you know, scared the cat. The cat can cause some problems in the game, too. Yeah, this game is so good. It's so fun. I love it. Number 2, Alien: Fate of the Nostromo. Okay, so number 1, I've only played this game like once, but it made such a good impression on me, is Scotland Yard Sherlock Holmes Edition. Oh my gosh, this game is so good. So you and about like several other players are playing as famous characters from the Sherlock Holmes novels. You can play as Sherlock, you can play as Watson, you can play as Lestrade, and you can play as Irene Adler. And then, of course, the 5th player, or the 6th player, I might be missing somebody. Sherlock Holmes, Watson, Irene Adler, Lestrade, Mycroft. So you can play as Mycroft, that's the 5th player, and then the 6th player can play as Moriarty. And Moriarty's goal is to try to stay away and not get caught and not go to jail. Whereas the other players get to use their try to use their deductive skills to try to track down and find Moriarty. And you have to use like different tickets for different types of vehicles. You get to go across different tracks. Some stuff gets you to places faster. Some places will go to certain places that, so like the train will take you to places that like the horse and buggy can't really take you, and it'll take you there faster. Like the automobile, that'll take you to a faster place than the horse and buggy, but it won't go as the same places as the horse and buggy. So sometimes you do have to use the horse and buggy. And then there's like the valuable player powers too. Those are so good, really helps with the game. But oh my gosh, you go to a place, he's not there. But he was there a second ago, and the hints that he gave us, that's gotta be it. It's such a great cat and mouse game. I love this game so much. And it's like right up my alley. I love these games with the hidden, where the guy's trying to like manipulate the board and try to get everybody to try to figure out where it is. And it's so much better when you play the Sherlock Holmes portion of it. You can play regular Scotland Yard if you like regular Scotland Yard. You just don't use the powers and all that stuff. But my recommendation is you got to use the powers because it makes it so that much more fun. Number 1, Scotland Yard Sherlock Holmes edition. Well, there you go. There's my top 10 favorite Ravensburger games. Yes, and I'm going to say it like that. Okay? You know, I do love this company. I love the games that they bring out. I did not put Chronicles of Light, one of their latest games, because I did not play it. But my wife did. She played the game. She loved it. You know, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, hit that subscribe button, and ring the notification bell to be notified for top 10s lists just like this one. And also, what is your favorite Ravensburger game that you like to play? Let me know in the comments below. I'm curious to see what you guys liked. Also, if you are feeling in the charitable mood, consider donating to the Michael Fox Foundation. They do wonderful research in trying to find a cure for Parkinson's disease. But I also found out that they also try to help people with their day-to-day lives on how to manage their Parkinson's as well. They do wonderful work of what they do. Michael J. Fox is, as you know, he's an actor who's had Parkinson's for years. Actually, if you watch Back to the Future 3, you can see like his Parkinson's starting to set in, which is actually a scary thing because Back to the Future, he started doing like after his TV show that he was on. In fact, he was kind of, when he was doing, I believe, 1, he was kind of juggling the 2. I think it was Family Ties. He's trying to juggle between Family Ties and that, and then you know, you go to Back to the Future 2, but Back to the Future 3, you can start seeing the Parkinson's like, you know, really set in. Even with Atlantis, The Lost Empire, like I said, one of my favorite Disney movies. You know, they said that they had to have Michael say his lines like, you know, when he was feeling up to it, because he would stutter. He would stutter a lot. And to the point where they can't even understand what he was saying. It's so sad what went on with that. And it's you know, I know there's a lot of other people who are going through with that too. Having something like that inflict you can really affect your life, and you don't even know how big. So yeah, definitely check them out. Obviously, you can donate with cash. One of the best ways to help out is to spread the word. That means a lot. I'd like to thank everybody who has participated in our charity shout-outs and who has checked out some of these charities. I also want to thank the people who obviously volunteer, because a lot of these have volunteers and other people who work at these charities. That's such a great thing that you guys do. Really, really good work. Thank you very much. And thank you everybody who's been checking out this. This is my last charity shout-out for the for February. We do have some new ones. Obviously, if there's a charity that you guys think needs more attention, please put them down in the comments below. And Jordan and I would like to give them a shout out, obviously, next year, because we already have the list for... Oh, actually, I haven't put that together yet. So, yeah, obviously, this year, we start in November. That's when we do our shout outs. So, yeah, please feel free to do that. And thank you very much. Be on the lookout for our... But that being said, be on the lookout for our next month's top 10s list, which I have no clue what that is. I have to think about it. Also, if there's a top 10s list that you want me to see go through that has to do with board games or something like that, let me know in the comments below. I'm starting to get some, I need to get some suggestions. And I'll see you in that video. But until then, thanks for the views.